Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this 24th day of April, 2017. Today in Israel is Yom HaShoah, the day of the Holocaust. It's a Holocaust Remembrance Day. Now I want to read excerpts from an article, a letter actually, from believers in Hawaii, of all places. They note that Shoah, from Yom HaShoah, is the Hebrew word for destruction and is another name used to refer to the European Holocaust, when 6 million Jews, including 1.5 million children, were ruthlessly murdered by the Nazis during World War II. Holocaust Remembrance Day takes place today, on the 24th of April, and was established as a national holiday by the Israeli Knesset in 1953. And during this day in Israel, a mourning siren sounds throughout the land, and all activity stops. People stand in honor of those who died. Jews around the world hold memorials and vigils, often lighting 6 candles in honor of the 6 million Holocaust victims. The Holocaust was not simply the result of the insanity of a group of criminal Nazis, but it was a culmination of hatred and discrimination targeting the Jews, what we now call anti-Semitism. History moves forward, but anti-Semitism keeps returning, as it is today, increasingly more. The best way to honor the Holocaust victims is to strengthen our solidarity in the ongoing battle against anti-Semitism. The horrors of the Holocaust eventually resulted in the regathering of the Jewish people back to their ancient homeland, as was foretold by the prophets of old. The existence of the State of Israel today is one of the greatest miracles of all times. This is a sign that the God of Israel is in control of the state and the fate of nations. The HaShoah, Yom HaShoah, is a sad commemoration, but God has used it to regather his original covenant people back to the land of promise and to prepare the way for the soon coming of their Messiah, our Messiah as well, and their full restoration. What the enemy meant for evil, God has used it for the good of his people. But this is a day of remembrance not only for the 6 million Jews, but on this 24th day of April is a memorial day for what is referred to as the Armenian Genocide. This was an Armenian Holocaust that took place in 1915 and the years following that, when 1.5 million Armenians were killed. Christian Armenians were killed, slaughtered, brutally slaughtered by the Turks, the young Turks of the day. And Turkey, is yet, to their shame, has not admitted to this. God will answer. The judgment of God is upon them for this. But as I tell you of these 2 monumental Holocausts that have taken place, they pale in the light of the Holocaust that is to come in the future. The scriptures tell us in Revelation chapter 9, it says in verse 15, "So 4 angels who had been prepared for this hour, day and month and year, were released to kill 1/3 of mankind." To kill 1/3 of mankind. That would be 2.5 billion people, 2.5 billion people on earth. To kill 1/3 of mankind, the number of mounted troops was 200 million. By these 3 plagues, 1/3 of mankind was killed by the fire and the smoke and the sulfur coming out of their mouths. It evidently refers to some kind of a nuclear attempt to assassinate the world. That's to come. That's the Holocaust to come. So what do? Well, Jesus says this in Luke chapter 21, verse 36. He says, "Stay awake, watch, be on the alert, praying that you may have the strength to escape all these things that are going to take place and to stand before the Son of Man." Will God answer that prayer? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. God has promised to spare us from the wrath of man, and that's what it is. Our only hope for preservation and for the presence of God and his delivering power is through Jesus and acknowledging him. But that's a great hope. That's the blessed hope of the future. Till next week, Od Kiev Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Yivraka Yahweh. Yahweh bless you. Bless those you love, and bless those who love you.